Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into something really foundational, I think. The mystical origin story of Lalita Tripura Sundari. She's one of the most, revered goddesses in the Shakta tradition.
Absolutely. It's a spectacular story. And the sources we're drawing on, mainly texts like the Sri Vidya Tantra and the Lalita Upakhyanā, they make it clear right away. This isn't your typical birth story. Not at all.
Okay, so not a birth. What is it then?
It's more like a cosmic manifestation, a necessary one. It's the emergence of the Adi Parashakti, the supreme divine feminine, basically called forth because everything else had failed.
Right. So our goal today, for you listening, is really to give you a clearer picture of this immense power.
Yeah.
We'll unpack the crisis that, made her arrival necessary. We'll look at the symbolism in her name, her whole entourage, and importantly, why the specific weapon she uses tells us something fundamental about cosmic power.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because to really get the solution, Lalita Devi herself, you first have to grasp the problem. And the problem isn't just, oh, there was a bad guy, it's Bhandasura. We need to look at his origin.
Yes, because his origin story is wild, and it's why he was such a unique kind of threat.
Well, exactly. The texts say he was literally born from the ashes of Kamadeva.
Kamadeva, the god of desire.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one Shiva zapped with his third eye?
That's the one. Shiva was deep in penance. Kama tried to interrupt him, and boom, incinerated.
So Bhandasura arises from that, from burnt-up desire.
Precisely. And think about what that means. The chaos here isn't from some ancient evil. It's born from suppressed, or rather obliterated, worldly desire. That energy, Kama's energy, it reforms into Bhandasura. He gets immense power, but also this deep-seated arrogance, maybe rooted in that cosmic disruption.
And he immediately goes on a rampage across the three worlds, Bhuva Sva, earth, atmosphere, heaven.
He does. Dethroning God, sure, but the real damage, the sources emphasized, was spreading adharma.
Adaram. So not just chaos, but the breakdown of cosmic law of righteousness.
Exactly that. He specifically went after the sacred yagnas, the rituals maintaining cosmic balance. By stopping those, he was, in effect, cutting the connection between the gods and the world. It was an existential threat.
Which leads to this crisis point. The Devas, Indra leading them, they try everything, don't they?
Everything. And the texts are specific. Even Vishnu's Sudarshan Chakra, the discus, the symbol of cosmic order and preservation itself.
It fails.
It fails. It just couldn't touch him. And that's the moment, where everyone realizes the scale of the problem.
So the usual powers, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, in their normal roles, they've hit a wall.
Pretty much. Their powers relate to creation, preservation, destruction within the established cycle. Bhandasura was something else, an anomaly born from the destruction of desire. He was outside the system, in a way.
So they needed something beyond that cycle, something primal.
They needed the source, the Adi Parashakti, the original divine mother, the energy behind creation, preservation, and destruction.
And how do they call upon her?
Through the ultimate act of unified will, all the gods, the sages, the rishis, they gathered. They performed this incredibly intense, focused cosmic yajna, pouring all their need, all the cosmic imbalance into that sacrificial fire. It wasn't just asking, it was a kind of desperate summoning.
And the result, the descriptions are amazing.
Absolutely breathtaking. A light, just blindingly radiant, erupts from the heart of the fire. And it's not instant, it kind of coalesces, takes shape into this form of just absolute divine beauty and power.
Lalita Tripura Sundari.
Lalita Tripura Sundari. And here's where it gets really interesting, philosophically. Her appearance is the Sri Vidya, the knowledge of the highest truth embodied.
Okay, let's break down that name, because it's packed with meaning. Right?
Totally. So Lalita, it means she who plays.
Plays, like this whole cosmic battle is a game to her.
In a sense, yes. It signifies Leela, divine play, the universe, creation, destruction. It's all her dance. It puts even defeating Bhandasura into a different perspective.
Okay. Then Tripura. 3 cities or 3 worlds.
It can mean ruler of the 3 worlds. Bhu, Bhuva, Sva, yes. But the deeper meaning often relates to the 3 states of consciousness. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. She's the reality underneath all 3, the constant awareness.
Why? Okay. And Sundari.
Most beautiful, but again, not just physical beauty, it's the beauty of perfect harmony, of pure consciousness, the ultimate attractive force, you could say.
So her very name defines her as this playful, conscious, beautiful, supreme reality.
Exactly. She is the Sri Vidya.
When she appears, she's not alone, and she's not just, floating there. She arrives ready. The text describe her chariot, the Chakra Rajaratha.
Yes. And the details are fascinating. It's not pulled by horses or anything physical in that sense.
No, what pulls it?
It's drawn by 10 charioteers who represent the 10 powers of consciousness. Think about that. Her movement, her very advance into battle, is powered by pure conscious will.
So the battle itself is sort of happening on a conscious level, not just a physical one.
Absolutely. It reframes the whole conflict. It's pure consciousness engaging with this chaos born from, well, suppressed desire.
And her army reflects that energy too.
Immensely. She's surrounded by this massive force of divine feminine warriors, the Shaktis. Names like Kameshwari, Vajrashwari, Bhagamalini pop up, and the entire collective of the 64 yoginis. It's the ultimate assembly of dynamic, active feminine power.
There's also her consort, Kameshwara. He's with her. Now, usually we think of Shiva as the destroyer, but here he's Kameshwara. What's the significance of that specific pairing?
This is crucial for understanding the Sri Vidya philosophy. Kameshwara is Shiva, yes, but in his highest non-dual form. He represents pure, unchanging consciousness. Static, chit.
Okay. And Lalita is?
She is Shakti. Dynamic energy, creation, action, the movement. He's the witness, she's the play, the Leela. Their union is the universe. It shows that consciousness without energy is inert, and energy without consciousness is blind. They are inseparable.
The ultimate unity. So with this unified force, consciousness and energy together, riding this chariot of conscious will, she heads for Bhandasura's stronghold.
Straight for his capital, the city called Shunyaka, which means sort of the city of emptiness or void. Very symbolic.
And the battle commences. Is it depicted as a long, hard struggle?
The texts detail the ferocity, sure. Bhandasura throws everything he has, dark magic, illusions, armies of his own negative Shaktis. He tries to counter her power directly, but Lalita's responses are described as almost effortless, perfect counters. He uses a dark weapon. She deploys the exact Shakti or divine weapon needed to nullify it instantly. It's like perfect knowledge dismantling ignorance again and again.
A constant restoration of order on the fly.
Exactly, until Bhandasura, getting desperate, unleashes his ultimate weapons, his most powerful illusions and destructive forces.
And that forces her hand.
It leads to the decisive moment. She decides it's time to end it. And she does so with one specific, incredibly significant weapon, the Mahakameshwara Astra.
The Mahakameshwara Astra, what is that?
Okay, this is the absolute core of the victory. It's described not really as a physical arrow, but as an emission of pure divine will. Perfect consciousness focused. Remember how Bhandasura came from incinerated desire?
Right.
Well, he has to be overcome by something that transcends desire, that transcends even conventional creation and destruction. He's defeated by pure, unadulterated consciousness itself, wielded as a force.
The weapon is consciousness.
Infused with divine will, yes. It doesn't just destroy him, it annihilates the very basis of his existence. The adharma collapses. Cosmic balance dharma is instantly restored.
Wow. Okay. And this whole narrative, this power, it's captured somewhere for people today.
It absolutely is. It's preserved most famously in the Lalita Sahasranamam, the hymn of her 1,000 names. Chanting those names is essentially meditating on every aspect of her being, her power, her story. It's a complete summary.
So let's bring this back for everyone listening. The big takeaway here is that Lalita Tripura Sundari isn't just another goddess in a pantheon. She's presented as the manifestation of the absolute supreme consciousness.
Her story is basically an assurance. When chaos gets so bad that the usual cosmic forces can't handle it, the ultimate truth, beauty, and power, the divine feminine, will emerge to set things right.
And this isn't just ancient history. The tradition holds that she resides eternally in her realm, Tripuram or Manadvipa, still accessible.
Very much so. Blessing devotees, particularly those who follow the path of Sri Vidya, which is fundamentally about realizing that unity of Shiva and Shakti, consciousness and energy, within yourself.
And is there a practical starting point that texts suggest?
It often comes back to the Lalita Sahasranamam. Chanting it is considered a direct way to connect with her grace, to begin understanding that knowledge and accessing that power.
So we've gone from this really terrifying origin of chaos, Bhandasura, born from burnt desire, seeing the failure of the established God,
Yeah, a real crisis.
to the emergence of this ultimate feminine force, literally riding a chariot powered by consciousness.
It maps out how that specific kind of chaos, the kind rooted in corrupted desire, needs a specific kind of resolution. Not just force, but perfect awareness.
It's a complete picture, from problem to, well, divine solution.
Which does leave us with a really interesting thought to chew on, doesn't it? We saw Bhandasura came from the ashes of Kamadeva, suppressed desire. And he was ultimately defeated by the Mahakameshwara Astra, pure consciousness and will.
Right.
So think about what that might signify metaphysically. Chaos, born from incinerated desire, needed a response rooted in ultimate consciousness and will to be overcome. What does that suggest about the kind of spiritual effort needed to deal with chaos, especially maybe internal chaos that arises specifically from our own unfulfilled or maybe violently suppressed desires compared to other kinds of negativity? It implies something quite profound about mastering consciousness itself as the antidote.
That's a powerful connection to think about the cosmic myth reflecting potentially our own inner struggles with desire and awareness. Definitely something to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Lalita Tripura Sundari's origin.
My pleasure. Until next time.
See you soon.